G'day guys, welcome back to Bish Dog Maths. Today we're looking at probability. This is multiple draw probability using a tree diagram. So we've got a bag with 5 balls in it. Okay, this is represented here with the counters. There's the bag. Okay, now we're doing 2 draws here. We've been asked in this question. I mean, if you stick your hand in at random, you could pick out a 1, you could pick out a 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, they are all equal options. All right, so they are represented. So tree diagram, start with your point of origin. All right, and there's 5 options, so 5 lines coming out. All right. 1, you could draw a 1, you could draw a 2, you could draw a 3, you could draw a 4 or a 5. All equally likely. Okay, so you pick out a 1. Okay, now we don't put this back. This is without replacement. All right. What are your options for your second pick? Well, you stick your hand in again. You can pick out a 2, 3, 4, or 5. So now, because we didn't put the ball back in, we're having 4 options. We could pick a 2, a 3, a 4, or a 5. All right? Or, just as likely, you could have picked out a 2 the first time. And then the guy says, all right, draw another one with that, and then that's in your hand. You don't stick it back in. So what are your options then? Well, you got 1, 3, 4, and 5. So 1, 3, 4, and 5. All right. Same if you pick 3. What are your options? If you had 3 out already, 1, 2, 4, 5. Everyone has 4 different options now. And I gather you understand what's going on by now, but you picked out a 4. What are your options? You could have second draw, it could be a 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. And pretty sure you know what's going on. I pick out a 5. What are my options? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So there are outcomes there, right? So if we ended it here, these would be your outcomes. You could have picked a 1 and then a 2. Okay, so that's a 1, 2. Right, now we'll represent that by a 1 and then a 2. Or you could have picked a 1 and then a 3, or 1, 4, or 1, 5. Or you could have picked a 2 the first time and then a 1 the second time. Okay, so that's a 2, 1. All right. These are the outcomes, all right? Or you could have picked a 2 the first time, then a 3. 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 5, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 5, or 5, 1, 5, 2. 5, 3, 5. So that should be a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. Or 5, 4. All right. So there are outcomes. All right. Each one of these represents a different combination of balls you could have picked out of the sack. Okay, they are all equally likely. Okay, there's no ball that's more likely to be picked than others. All right, or no different combination. Okay, so they're outcomes. How many outcomes are there? Well, if you counted them all up, you would get to 20. Okay, there are 20 different combinations. All right, so 20 outcomes, but that's 20 different outcomes if you're taking the order into account, okay? So, for instance, I pick out a 1 first out of the bag, and then my second draw, I picked out a 2, okay? I have this one. 1, 2. Now, if it's say like a lottery or something like that, where the order of the numbers isn't important, there's no Powerball happening here, and we don't take the order into account, then you'll notice each one of these outcomes has a similar one. Okay, this is a 2. For this one here, I drew out a 2 and then I drew out a 1. Okay, oops, do that again. Drew out a 2 and then I drew out a 1. Okay, 2, 1. All right. Now, if the winning combination for the prize was a 2 and a 1, or 1 and a 2, they just said, whoever's got a 1 and a 2, come and collect your free car. Both of them are options. All right. So you notice for this combination with 2 balls in the bag, sorry, 2 balls being drawn out of 5, each one will have, there will be a matching pair for each one. For example, 1, 3 is the same as 3, 1. 1, 4 is the same as 4, 1. 1, 5 is the same as 5, 1. All right. Now we could match them all up, but you understand that why not? 2, 5, 3, 4, 4, 3, 3, 5, 5, 3, and there we go. All right. Oh. And 4, 5, and 5, 4. There we go. Now, each one for this one had one matching pair, or brother or sister. So how many outcomes are there? If order is not taken into account, you'll find out, well, there were 20, but each one's got a matching pair, so that would be half of that, 10. Okay, there are 10 outcomes now if we don't take order into account. So if 1, 2 is the same as 2, 1, like most lotteries, there would be 10 different outcomes. All right. Now, if they mix this up and they say, hey, now you draw a 1 and then a 2, and they say, all right, pick out a third ball, Bish Dog. Well, you would go, okay, say I picked a 1, then a 2, then what's my options left? I would have 3, 4, 5. So each one of these would have another 3 options out of that. Or if I picked a 1 and then a 3, what are my options left? I would have 2, 4, 5. Alright. 2, 4, 5. Alright. You probably want a bigger sheet of paper if you're going to do that, or maybe a whiteboard, or plan earlier, go out wider to start with. Okay, but so I'm not going to finish that. Okay, that's just if there was a third draw. So this one here is the first draw, this one here is the second draw, and then if you're going to do a third draw, you would be down here. Okay, so things to bear in mind is this is without replacement. If, for example, the guy said, all right, pick the first ball, you pick out 1, he says, all right, put that back in, and now pick out another one, there would be 5 options. Okay, so just be like, for example, I picked out a 1, put it back in, then my options would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but this question says do not replace the ball. So the options get less and less. Okay, we had 5, then we had 4 options, and then if you did it again, you would have 3. All right, and so on and so on. Okay, if you have any comments or questions, yeah, ask me. I'll do my best to get back to them. If not, I'll see you next time. So calculator.